Hi everyone, welcome to Brailsford Family Homestead and welcome to the Every Bit Counts Challenge. August is just so much fun. I've been doing this challenge for multiple years and I think 2 years sharing it on YouTube. I also share about it on Facebook and Instagram, but mostly here on YouTube. Every day in the month of August, unless something happens, I give grace for life happening, I preserve something. Whether that's just some small herbs from the garden, canning, freezing, whatever it may be, and I bring you along with me. Today, the first thing I'm doing is finishing with some onions. I'll put a picture here. Yesterday, I had already started this project, and these are my cured onions, and I need to cut the leaves off and cut the roots off, and then put them in crates for storage, or put them aside if they need to be used right away. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. Fairly simple. I just snip this off here and then cut the roots off. If there's a lot of dirt, I'll take it and brush it off, but I don't want to peel all of this off. If it's really dirty, I could do a layer, but we want that on there to protect it. And then when I'm all done, I will put the cuttings into my garden bed for compost. I got all of the ends cut off and have this feed bag full. We'll go weigh them inside, and I have a few that will need dealt with right away. I weighed the onions that we cleaned up outside and it was 31 pounds. When I put that together with the others that I had already cleaned up and some that I had harvested previously that had bolted, I have 155 pounds, and I think I have about another 40 pounds curing right now. So I'm really happy about that. I'm going to get these separated by type, and also if there's any that need to be used right away, I'm going to put those aside. I will probably chop and freeze them probably tomorrow and dehydrate some for some onion powder. So I have Patterson and Candy here, so I'm going to try to separate them. Candy does not store as long as Patterson, so I want to use them up, and I also need to separate some for some friends who bought some. But I'm really happy with the amount of my harvest and how these onions are looking. I am going to be putting them in these file crates. I actually use these to store my empty canning jars and sometimes full canning jars too. It's just so easy to carry them, sometimes up and down stairs. They stack very easily and they're inexpensive. So I'm going to, I have 4 here right now. We'll see how full they get. I do have more available if needed, so I'll show you when I'm all done. I've set aside these ones to process right away. And then this is what I have in my 4 crates. I do have a basket of other onions that I had taken care of earlier, but now these are ready to be stored. I will set these aside somewhere and we will just use them as we need them. And if I start to see some that are not holding up well, then I will just process them right away, either for onion powder or for diced frozen onions. I'm really happy with this. So this is going to be all I'm going to do for the first day of Every Bit Counts Challenge. I'll be back with you soon for day 2. Hi everybody, it's day 2 of the Every Bit Counts Challenge. I have 7 dehydrator trays here, all prepared with parchment paper to put onions on them to make onion powder. So I'm just gonna use my chopper to finely dice all those onions that I had set aside yesterday that needed to be processed right away, and see if I can fill all of these. If I somehow have more, then I will put them in 1 cup portions in the freezer so that I can use them in meals throughout the year. So I'm gonna get to chopping and hopefully have all of these trays filled. I got these 4 and 3 more, so all 7 filled. I did grab a couple other onions that I have in a stack that need to be dealt with because they had bolted. So I am happy to have this. There's nothing to put in the freezer, but we will do that at some point during this month. So I'm going to put these outside because dehydrating these in the house would be a very bad idea. It will be smelling so strongly. So I don't have a covered porch, so what I usually do is I put it up on something with a golf umbrella just in case there's going to be any rain. And these will possibly be ready by tomorrow evening. So we'll check on them together, and if they are ready, then we will blend them into onion powder. I'm really excited about this. I'm assuming I'll get about a pint of onion powder, and I'll definitely want to do some more before the season is over because I hope to give some of these as gifts as well as stock my own pantry. So that will be it for today, for day 2. See you back tomorrow. Hi everybody, it is day 3 of the Every Bit Counts challenge, and today I'm going to be working with, I think, herbs and spices. It's time to blend up those onions that we put in the dehydrator yesterday, but first I need to take care of a couple other things. I had this basil on my drying rack as well as this pineapple mint, and I wanted to get that off of my drying rack so we can go harvest some more herbs and put it on there. I'm hoping to dry a lot more of this pineapple mint, and hopefully it'll make a tasty tea. I may have to try it just in case, but I just have one plant. I have basil enough for everyone, but I still plant it and I still try it. So I already have some jars with labels set up, and I am going to vacuum seal them. I did make some onion powder, I think it was about a month ago almost, and it's been vacuum sealed in here, and I'm really pleased to see it is not chunky or anything like that. Sometimes things I have bought in the store, the onion powder, especially if there's not some other agent in there, will get kind of clumpy, and this is not, so that is great. So let's get these in the jars, and then we'll go get the onions and start grinding them up. This is a lot of basil, but I'm going to try to just cram it in there to make it fit in this jar. I generally do not crush up or cut up, grind up my basil until it's time to use it. Sometimes I will a little bit, but I don't blend it. All right, then we have, I know this jar is way too big for this amount of mint, but I intend to fill it over time. So let's seal these first. I don't know which type of lids these are. They're brand new, but I've had them for some time and I want to use them up. I've been using, let me show you, 4 jars lids for a while now, and I really like them. And I have only used their lids when using their vacuum sealer. But let's see if I can put these to use just because I have them. I don't intend to use these for canning. This is just a handheld vacuum sealer, and I've been really pleased with it. When I first started using it, I guess it was user error because it was not working very well, in my opinion, but let's see. Hopefully these lids, yep. Well, now I'll keep an eye on those since I really don't know what brand these are or anything. But I have all of my spices and stuff vacuum sealed with this now just to keep them better longer. Awesome. All right, let's get those onions. I went outside to get my dehydrators and some chickens. Thought I was bringing them some treats. If you're new to dehydrating, sometimes it will still feel like it's not dry and crispy when it's warm. So if you give it a minute to cool off, then it will really snap and you know that it's nice and dry. And then I try to grind it immediately after it's cooled and package it up so that it cannot absorb any moisture from the air, especially it's summer, it's humid. So I am going to try to pour all of this into a spouted mixing bowl just to make this a little bit easier with the holes in here. Sometimes I make a mess. I probably will make a mess. I did clean this counter off just before I started, so I'm not leaving anyone behind. There we go. This is all of our dehydrated onions, so now we're going to grind it up. And I just use a coffee grinder. I think they make spice grinders, which are essentially the same. It works really well. You could use a blender too, but I find that the coffee grinder gets a finer. You just need to, after you're done, just let it sit for a minute before you pour it out, or just like powder is everywhere. I think that's good enough. Yep. Hopefully you can see how fine that powder is. If you open it up and you feel like it's still a little chunky, just put it in again. Well, so much for not having a dust cloud, huh? All right, I'm gonna get all of this ground up and I'll show you how much we end up with. I'm really happy with this. As you can see, it is just over 2 cups of onion powder. I'm really, really happy. I'm gonna vacuum seal this and we're gonna go out and harvest some herbs. This is my mineral tub with thyme in it. I love the smell of it. I love to make thyme salt as well. I've made a video of that before. If you'd like to see it, it's up here. I think today I'm just gonna dry it. We'll see. Let's harvest this. This is a good amount for now. Let's go harvest some pineapple mint. It is so, can you see that? It's so pretty and smells so good. That's not pineapple mint. I'd say that's a good bucket full. For this mint, I am going to put all of this on the drying rack. So I am going to remove the leaves from the stem using a colander to make it quick and easy. And I've decided I do want to make some thyme salt, so I will remove the leaves from some of this to do that, and I'll show you the process. But for what I'm drying, I'm not going to remove it from the stem just because it's so small and I don't want to lose some or for it to fall through the mesh. I don't think it will, but it would just be, it's easy to get it off once it's dry. So for what's going on the drying rack, it will just go like this. So for the mint, I'm just going to stick it through here. This isn't the one I usually use. Hopefully the holes are big enough. Stick the stem through and pull it. Makes quick work of that. If I have trouble with this fitting through for some, I'm gonna have to wash my other colander, but I'm gonna get all of this put through, and then we'll get it on the drying rack. I've got the mint all separated from the stems, and this is just over 3 ounces of mint leaves. I'm happy about that. We'll spread it out on the drying rack after I take care of the thyme, and it is going to make that room smell amazing. For the thyme, to get it off when it's fresh like this, I usually take my, let me see if I can get you closer, finger and thumb on there and go, oh, that didn't work, did it? The opposite way that it's growing. And then you still have to kind of pick the ones off the end, but then it comes off a lot easier than if you go the direction it's going. You'll get some, but it sometimes doesn't get all of the leaf. But anyway, what works for you? So if you see the little nubs on this one, no nubs on this one. I mean, either way, it'll work. So I need a 4-to-1 ratio for my herb salt. So I'm just going to see how much I can get here. I've got a 1/4 cup of thyme leaves. That's all I'm gonna do. And I am doing this a 4-to-1 ratio with the salt. To see exactly how I did it, you can check out this video here. And I weighed the remaining thyme, and it is 3 ounces, but that is with, of course, leaves, with stems. But we'll put that in the drying rack as soon as I get the herb salt on here. I am going to blend it all together and let it sit out overnight just to make sure any moisture evaporates. And then I will put it in a jar and use it. This is so good. I love using this and rosemary salt on so many dishes. I just love it so much. Plus thyme is one of my favorite herbs. Here's what that looks like, all stirred together. And like I said, I'm just gonna leave this out to dry overnight, and then I will jar it up. This is my drying rack. It will hold quite a bit, so we'll get the thyme and the mint on there. You can see those. I just tried to spread it out a little bit, and we have room for more herbs later. That's gonna do it for day 3. We'll see you back tomorrow. It's day 4 of the Every Bit Counts challenge. I will insert some footage of some work I did with some potatoes earlier today here. It's time to sort through these potatoes and take out ones like this that are not eating quality and get them set up for storage. I sorted through the potatoes, took out any bad ones, whether they were green or maybe they had some rot or mold on them, and then I sorted them in sizes and put them in trays for more airflow and stored them so we can be using them over the next several weeks and even months. It's not a lot, but it is a blessing. It's day 4 of the Every Bit Counts challenge, and we are about to make some pepper jelly. I love pepper jelly, and it is a staple at just about every gathering we have, but sometimes we like to have it ourselves as well, and so I like to have smaller portions. Normally this is canned in a 1/2 pint, but it is safe to can it in a 1/4 pint, and that's what I'm gonna do today. And this will go on the pantry shelf for parties or just for yumminess all year round. We're gonna make sure we wear gloves because it will burn if we don't. Just cut those in half and then use something to take out the seeds and the veins. This little corer tool, I use this for tomatoes and strawberries. This is a great buy, about $2 on Amazon. There's a link for it in the description. Next, we put all of our jalapenos and 1 cup of the apple cider vinegar into the blender, and then we will blend it until it's smooth. Now that our jalapenos are blended, we are going to put them in our pot with the other cup of apple cider vinegar and all 6 cups of sugar. Bring it to a boil and boil it for 10 minutes. Now I will say you need to use a big pot. This will seem like just a small amount in there, but it will bubble up and you'll have to put the pectin in after this. So don't go too skimpy on your pot. Use something big. I've got my 1/4 pint jars all good and hot, and we're going to fill them to 1/4 inch headspace. And then these will process for 10 minutes for my elevation. And I'm going to use my steam canner. I love, 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 love my steam canner. So we're going to debubble and then check that headspace again. And we need just a little bit more. So use a little spoon and add until all the way there. There we go. Then make sure to wipe those rims really well. This is really sticky. And you want a good surface for your lids. And I'm using my 4 jars lids today. Put that on fingertip tight, where you can just use your fingertips like that and then put it in the canner. Time's up and they're already pinging. That looks beautiful. I'm going to sit them here for 12 to 24 hours and we'll come back then and check to see if they are sealed. It is day 5 of the Every Bit Counts challenge, and today it's all about corn. We have 15 dozen ears here. My family helped me shuck this, and now we need to blanch it. We are going to freeze most of this in meal-sized portions, cut off the cob, but I am gonna do hopefully a canner full of cream-style corn. But regardless of what we do, we need to blanch it, and it's 4 minutes for whatever we're doing, and that just helps stop the enzyme that breaks down the corn. That will make your corn last longer in the freezer and taste better when you eat it. So we're going to work through all of this and then start cutting it from the cob. And then I didn't show this to you yesterday, but I bottled up the thyme salt that I made. Really beautiful, tastes even better. I just have this old water bath canner here that I never use for anything else. Just a big pot for boiling water. That way you can do a bunch at a time. I'm even going to give this rack a try to see if that helps me to pull it out. But this needs to go in boiling water for 4 minutes, and then I will have ice cold water in my sink. Once the 4 minutes are up, I will put it in that ice bath, and that just stops any of the cooking. And then after that, we'll start cutting it from the cob. All right, I'll make sure that's boiling. 4 minutes. Chilling out in the ice bath. I cut the corn off about 20 ears, I think, and then used the knife to get all of the milk out too. And now I have to measure it out for the cream style corn. I'll have 1 cup of boiling water per 2 cups of corn. I believe this was 20 ears. I don't remember now, but this is 23 cups of corn. So I will add 11.5 cups of boiling water to this. We got 37 quart bags of corn frozen. I'm canning up the cream corn now, putting a 1/2 teaspoon of salt in the jar. I'm filling the jars to 1 inch headspace. I may be double stacking these pints, so I'd have like a full canner full. We'll see how many I get. I have that many jars prepared just in case. We kept back some corn to eat tonight and my kids ate some fresh. So it probably wasn't all 15 dozen that we processed, but we did put in bags, 37 quart bags into the freezer. So I'm excited about that. So once these are done in the canner, I will show them to you. These take quite a while. They process at 10 pounds of pressure for my elevation for 85 minutes. So it's gonna be a little bit later. Let's check our pepper jelly. I apologize for the background noise. It is absolutely pouring down rain and I have a canner going. So it looks like everything has sealed. We'll take these rings off. That button is pushed down. That is great. So I'm gonna wash these off, make sure there's no sticky residue. And I have my labels and I'll put them in the pantry and enjoy these all year round. The cream style corn is done. We've got 37 quart size bags like this in the freezer. And then I believe there was 13, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 pint jars of the cream style corn that I'll set aside. Tomorrow I'll check the seals, take the lids off, not the lids, the rings, wash them off and label and put them in the pantry. So that's gonna be it for day 5. I'm going to bed. See you tomorrow. It's day 6 of the Every Bit Counts challenge and I'm back in the garden to harvest some herbs to put on the drying rack, and that's all I'm gonna do today because I'm still beat from yesterday. But I wanted to show you something before we cut our herbs. All that corn that we took off the cob, we put all the husks and the empty cobs in an empty bed that I have in my garden, wanting to fill it up. So we'll put soil in it later, but just to have all that in the bottom. Probably not the best thing to put in there. I put other things, but look at this. Various places on the ground around my garden is this. And Joe saw a raccoon, so he's just climbing right over in here and having a feast. I only came out here with this bucket, but then I found all of these squash, so I guess we're gonna make this work with the herbs and squash. I've got a lot of different herbs that I want to harvest and dry, but today I'm just gonna do one, and this is lemon basil. And I harvested some of it the other day and made lemon basil iced tea with it, and it was delicious. I did remove the flowers because I wasn't sure if that would give any strange taste, but I definitely want to dry this, try it in some food recipes, but for tea, whether hot or cold throughout the year, because it really was delicious. My dahlia bloomed. I thought maybe it was going to be yellow, but it's white. It has yellow inside and some like pink there. So pretty. Hopefully I can fix it in the house, but I literally just broke the handle off of my tripod in the locked position. So I have a bunch of the lemon basil, those squash, and some tomatoes. Let's get it in the house. I used some channel locks and got it unlocked, but definitely gonna have to order another tripod. This is all of the lemon basil that I harvested. I'm gonna actually leave the flowers on and just put this on the rack like this. And then I'm gonna do some research about with this if the flowers are good for tea and things like that, so I don't discard them before I need to. So I don't remember if I showed you the jars of the cream style corn from yesterday, all of them sealed. So I'm really happy about that. I've got them washed off now and just need to put the labels on. So I will see you back tomorrow for day 7. It's day 7 of the Every Bit Counts challenge, and I have a bucket of tomatoes that I have got to preserve. I don't even want to admit to how many I had to toss because I harvested them and didn't get to them quick enough. I do want to make some marinara sauce, but I'm going to wait till I have more than this. So I am going to can these as whole or quartered tomatoes, and I'm going to give a try to the raw packed, no added water method found in the Ball book. I have always added water, but this will give a more concentrated flavor, and almost all of these are a paste variety, so I'm hoping that it will make for some really flavorful tomatoes to use in things this coming year. So I have to first blanch these and peel them, and then we'll get to packing our jars. Now I just have to go through and peel the skins off of all of these tomatoes. I will also core them with my corer. And then because they aren't all the same type, I will cut them so that they are a uniform size. This is the 8th pint going in the canner. These are being pressure canned for 25 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure. It's on page 371 of this book. If you don't have it, make sure you get it. It is in the description below. It's time for the tomatoes to come out of the canner. I will show you one of them real quick, and then I have some real talk for you. So here is one of them, totally normal for their rate of separation, but I did not add any liquid to this. So that is all just from the tomatoes themselves. But I put 8 jars in there. 2 of them completely blew their tops off. The jars are not broken, but obviously they're wasted because the tops came off. The canner is a big mess. The other ones, as long as they seal, are safe. I will check them after it's been 12 to 24 hours, wash them off, label them, and all of that kind of stuff. I did not use 4 jars lids on these. I have a lot of other canning lids, and I have some that I have used with great success. And so I wanted to use some of those up because I don't want them to go to waste, and I'm doing a lot of canning. I'm not going to blame that lid. I'm not even going to tell you which one it was. It may have been user error. I have only had the top blow off of a jar just a couple of times in all the years I've been canning. So it happens, no big deal. If it happens to you, it happens to all of us, no matter I've canned hundreds and hundreds of jars. Oh well, I'm sad for the weird food to go to waste, but I still have 6 that are perfectly fine. So if it happens to you, just and keep going. I have enjoyed doing this challenge with all of you for two full years. This is the 3rd one on YouTube. I have done this challenge for 5 or 6 years. If you would like to see the other years where I have posted on YouTube about this, I will put a playlist up here. This is gonna be the last video for this week, and I'll have another one for next week for the challenge, so there'll be one each week of the challenge. I appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, God bless.